Hello my dears, and welcome to this Lemonsqueezer tutorial. As you can see, we'll construct this plastic thing here, and you find the images as usual on Teams, and to have a closer look how this should end up. And yeah, let's get right into it. Let's start with a fresh scene and a fresh component. Create new component, cup. Parent is selected. Okay. And in this, now this component is selected. You see this here. And we'll insert our canvas. And we'll take the cup top, of course, on this position. I'll rotate it 90 degrees and position it that here we have it more or less on the middle line, and also this circle should be more or less in the middle. I'm trying to do my best here. Okay, and then we'll calibrate this canvas. Calibrate. Because from the diameter is 10 centimeters, and so I'm trying to get more or less the diameter right. And then we'll insert the second canvas. This will help us the side one. Let's scale it up a little bit to see it better, and we have to rotate it and flip it, no, wrong direction. And I'm going here to the front view so that I position it more or less. Of course, we have perspective distortion. And you could calibrate, or you can just move the image so that it might fit together here at the end. More or less. I give you measurements anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. A little bit of difficult of scaling here. So I'm fine with that. Hit OK. Then let's start with our first sketch on base plane. Starting quite easy with a circle and a diameter of 65 millimeters. You see it's not fitting perfect. I could adjust my image again. And a second circle with 100 millimeters. And now I use the possibility to edit a little bit because I have found the center line a little bit better. Yeah, finish our sketch. And we can do our first extrude. Take both of the circles and extrude it. Let's see here from the front view. I make it a height of 60, new body, yes. And we use the second circle, only the outer circle, to cut away the part, or little part. So select the outer circle, extrude again, and let's see how high we do this. I don't have the exact measurements for this, but I think 1 centimeter, yeah, is fine. So 10 millimeters in here, and set the operation to cut. That's what we end up with. And the rest we will just do with some fillets. So I'll create a fillet here with, let's check here in my front view. Yeah, I think 10 is fine here. And also on the inner side, maybe a small one. Take 3. And also here on the bottom, I take 1, just that we got a little bit more plastic look. Okay. Then we'll add a sketch here at this surface. So select this face and create a new sketch. And what we do, we project, we need this geometry projected here on this sketch. And so we go to Create, Project, and we select the outer ring actually, and so geometry is selected, selection filter, it's fine here. We could take both, but, and now you see we got this pink purple ring here. When I hide the body, see it a little bit better, and that's what we need to help us. Then we'll create a construction line. Yeah, 60, 68 or 67. It's fine. Hit X to make it a construction line, and then we'll create a 3-point arc from this point to somewhere here, and create an arc. When you're happy with it, then you mirror it. So mirror object, then select the mirror line, this one, and hit OK. So when I hover over, I get my profile, but for extruding the profile in this direction, we need another sketch. And so we create, so finish this one, we need a sketch line down here, and we'll create a new sketch in this plane. And let me see, yes, it snaps here to the point, so that's fine. And just draw a line. You see, it's not, it can cut, or it should cut actually my my body here. Okay, and I finish the sketch. I don't need a profile here because this is just a guideline for this profile. You will see in a second. So when you take the profile here and hit extrude, no, not extrude, sorry, we need a sweep here. This will help us to get along one line. So hit sweep. Then the profile we select is this one. Here is single path. The type is on, okay, if there is any other one inside single path. And we'll select a path. Here we go. That's what we got. And of course, we have to set the operation here to join. Then everything will look fine. When you work with such rails, it's always important that the rails are connected to a point. Otherwise, it won't work. Then we'll create some fillets. Here and here. Take whatever you like. 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything's fine. When I have a look here at the top with my canvas on, you see, yeah, more or less. And a second fillet I'll do here, just that this isn't a hard edge. So I just create maybe also 5. So this gets a tiny little bend and we have a smoother outline here. Okay. And we can create our shell, the wall thickness. So just go to shell mode here, select the faces and give it 1 millimeter of thickness, and that's fine. And the last thing we need to handle here, and for that I create an offset plane. Where it is here, offset plane. And actually I want to offset from this position, and I check here in my front view, in my canvas, somehow -8 or something. Okay. And create a sketch on it. Now we need a projection again. So create project, or project, is the right pronunciation, I think. Then I select the outer line here and hit OK. So I switch off the bodies so I can see I have my nice pink line, circle. Then we'll create a construction line with 65 or 64 millimeters and decide which one, if 65 or 64 is fitting better to your image. And we need an arc again. So from this point to somewhere here, be sure that it is connecting. And I'm clicking here. And then, of course, I do the mirroring again, and I forgot to do a construction line. So hit X. Then we will mirror. Object is already selected. Mirror line, this one. Okay. And now we want to have a perfect tangent curve here, because now you see there's a little, don't know the English word for knick. So go here to the tension constraint and select the first and the second, and you see there is a constraint popping up. Press escape to get out of the tool, and now I'm trying to move that a little bit back again because the tension constraint moved that, and so you can see I can slide along because it's also constrained and connected, and well, somewhere in the middle. I'm happy with that. So finish the sketch. The profile works, and just a simple extrude. Let's check here in the view how high it should be. There was a warning. Let's see. I will add the operation to join. But it's not working. The preview isn't working. It isn't working because I hide my body. So let me check if this was, yeah, maybe I edit the feature a little bit. Edit feature. I just take 3. It's fully enough. Okay, that's the cup. Not too difficult. Let's get to the tricky part. Don't forget to save your scene sometimes. And then I activate here my top level file for creating a new component. So parent is selected. That was the reason why I set the point here. Squeezer. Okay, so be sure that the hierarchy is the same, otherwise just put it up and let it drop. And now I hide this one and I insert 2 new canvas. Insert from my computer, and I have here that one. So we'll come to my top view. And I just insert the cup to no, not scaling, oops. In which direction I should rotate it. And maybe I activate my canvas here that I can adjust it. You see it's lying over each other, and so it's a little bit easier to find more or less perfect position. Something like that. Okay, and we also need a side view. Squeeze side. Scale, and I also need to rotate it. right in here at the cup. And I'm trying here to fit the views again, just with a little bit of scaling. When you, it's a bit tricky, but I think it's not too bad, and set here also to the floor. Okay. Good, then we will start with the trickier part, with that stuff here in the middle, and for that we'll create a sketch on this plane. And we'll start here from the middle with construction line, no, not a construction line, a normal one, and we set this to 50, and also another helping line to 26. Then let's draw another line, about 7 millimeters, and then a 3-point arc from the top to that one. And you see, when I move it, this is snapping somehow when it is tensioned. You see this light blue circle, and that's the goal. So when this pops up, then finish it, and you get this little symbol here. If your bow isn't tensioned, then use the tensioned constraint and select both of them. Of course, my constraint is already applied. Then we don't want it to be perfectly sharp here. Now we add a little fillet, a little one, okay, maybe 2, but actually we want this to be connected here. So I add this fillet for actually deleting it again. And I move this point up here, not actually to the position of 50, but a little bit, no, let's take -3. So it's, or 2.5. So it's just somewhere in the middle. And then add a line here. This is just a construction line. And then we add an arc here again, starting from this point, connecting here. And when I jump here, you see this little round blue stuff is coming up. That means, and I get my tension symbol because it has to be tensioned here. So I get a little smoothed out tip here. If you want, you can delete that line again, but we have to, it has to be smooth here, because when we have this perfectly sharp tip, we will get some problems later on. I will explain when we are so far. Okay, finish the sketch. And then select the profile, revolve it, angle, select the axis versus Z axis, and it should see a line here up to that. Fine. Then next step, we need an offset plane from the bottom, and we use 7 millimeters as we used here for this height. Okay, and I just switch off. Oh, I should activate here my bodies, because this body should be here. Could I move that? So I just delete that body again, and be sure this is active. I want my body not to be a parent of that. So again, revolve. Good, now we have the body here. I'm happy with that. Then we have our offset plane here. Create a sketch on it. And we'll start with a circle of 52. Then a construction line from the center, doesn't matter how long, just that we have a line. Then another one from the center to somewhere here. With the tab key I can jump between the values, and I want to have 78 here. You can, the reason why I do this, and I also adjusted it a little bit here in the canvas, edit canvas. So I rotated that the center, it's a little bit hard to see where I want to cut out later on this pattern here of the squeezer. So rotated that it is more or less in the middle, so you can see it a little bit better, maybe or maybe not. But it's also fine when you type in the 7 to 8 degrees. So that's, here you see it now, it's fitting. We will mirror that. So the line selected, this is my mirror line, okay. Then a 3-point arc from this point to that point, and be sure that you connect here with the X on this center line, and maybe you can see it in the image, so more or less somewhere here, not too far but not too narrow, so something like that, that's fine. And another line also connecting these points but with a straight line. Okay, that's it for the first step. Finish our sketch. Switch back to our view. Add my object again, switch off the canvas. So now we will split our face here. Be careful, not split body, use split face. The face to split is just the one in the middle, not that, just that one. My splitting tool are line number 1 and line number 2 here. So this is the kind of splitting you get. Okay. Then I hide my body and reactivate my sketch here. Next step is a revolve of half of the profile, or the half profile here, the axis, that one, and we need 180 degrees, actually minus, because it should go down here and flat here. Okay. And be sure that the operation was set to new body and not joining or whatever. I wasn't in the join position because I hided that. So this has to be an extra object, okay? Then I reactivate here my body. Now a little bit of fun work starts. We will use the sweep tool now. Activate it. Then change the type here to path with a guide rail. The profile you select is the whole shaped surface here, not the half, not the split it, the whole one. Path number 1, that one. Guide rail, select that one. See what's happening. Be aware to change the operation to new body. It's important. Maybe I hide that one. So that is what we end up with. Yes. Okay. What I have to do now, I have to extend this face here a little bit. So zoom in, that you can select the face and go to press pull. And I can extend this a different amount. Okay, you see, then somewhere an arrow pops up. And it's just enough that I can go beyond. Okay, there has to be, I don't have to stuck in, go as far as possible. So that, I hope this works. No, yes. You see, you can go just a little bit over there until it's breaking. I'm just happy with that. Hit OK. I forgot to join these objects during the operation, so I'm doing that now. Combine, select, and set the operation to join, because these two need to be one object. Good. Now I have one body and second body. Now do another combine operation and select this one as target body, and the tool body is our swept surface. And now we set the operation to cut. And hit OK. This is what we end up with. Switch off the sketches that you can see it a little bit better. Save your scene sometimes, especially before you do pattern stuff like I do now in the next step. Then create pattern, circular pattern. Select the feature that we just did, this cut operation. Select the axis. When it's hard to select, then keep the click on and you get options, and I select the Z axis and set the quantity to 12. And hopefully it works. You can try to use here some compute options. Maybe some work, some don't work. I try here optimized and hit OK. And that is what I end up with. And you see, it shouldn't be connected here. And now we try to create a shell. Let's see if it works, I hope. Yes, it worked. Okay. Now we have also this cool pattern on the inside. And now we try a little fillet, and it depends how narrow you have the space here, how big you can actually, you can create the fillet. So I select the fillet, and you can choose here, of course, every single stuff, but actually I just select this one and this face, so everything on the outer edge is selected here. And let's see if 0.2, yes, it's working. And we try to raise. How far can we go? 0.4, still working. 0.5, yes. 6, yes. 7, yeah, not expected to work. 8, okay, there is the limit. Error pops up because it can't compute the fillet anymore, but I'm happy with that. Hit OK. And now we have our nice, very nice looking first step here. And if I wouldn't have done this slight round tip here, all this fillet stuff wouldn't have worked. So that's the reason why I did this. When everything is just following on one point, yeah, the calculations of Fusion suck. So next step is where's our canvas? Of course, this little filter system here around. And for constructing this, I just activate my body of the cup, and I move my cup a little bit. So that I have a better feeling where or how high. Of course, I don't see it that well, but maybe somehow like this. I take minus. Yeah, I think this could work well. And I also go to inspect and section analysis, and I take here this plane so that I can see quite well how it should be positioned. Okay, I activate also I want to see my side canvas, but I just see it when I have my stuff here activated. So we will switch a little bit and hiding stuff. Okay, I'm starting constructing on a new sketch plane. Here we go. Have been moved, capture position. And I'm starting, no, I'm going in this direction because here I don't have any good positioning. I draw a line from here, and somewhere in the middle of here I take 25. It's just a construction line. Press X on the keyboard. So, then be careful from which point you start. I started from the wrong one. So when you think that this might be a little bit too thin or thick, but I'm just going to add here 23 so that I have 1 millimeter of space here. Beeline. I'm not sure if this is too high. I will check. I'll take 13 because I'll just switch off my analysis and switch off the cup body. Yeah. No, I could take it a little bit higher actually. So let's take 15, so my positioning wasn't too bad. Yeah. I could exactly position it here, so then I'm going 3 millimeters down, so I have space on every direction, and a last line going also down 3 millimeters. Good. Then we will use the offset. And take it 2 millimeters. So some of the work is saved here, and with a last line here and also one here, my profile is finished. Yes, finish the sketch. Switch off my analysis and all the canvas stuff. Select the profile, create revolve. The axis, of course, here. Set axis 360 degree. Don't cut, join, but be aware to join, to deactivate the lower body, the cup, otherwise it would join with that. So, and we just want it joining with middle squeezer part here. Hit OK. Yep. Then do some fillets. I will select all this, so the inside, so here and here. So let's see if 2 is fine. Yep, looks good to me. Of course, you can do a little bit of other filleting, but I'm happy with that. Okay. Then we need our holes, and for that we'll create a new sketch on this plane here. So activate my canvas again. Rotate your canvas so that you have one hole here quite in the middle. Switch off my body. I can work a little bit better. Let's make a construction line somewhere going, doesn't matter actually. I take here 38. And then we will need a slot and a center to center slot. I start here at that point, then just go down about 7 and then stretch this 2.5. Does it work? Can I type in something? No. Oh no, okay. .5, and of course you can reposition your slots a little bit, or your points. Oh, now I constraint them. So delete that constraint. Now I can move it, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, finish the sketch. And I guess you know, let's do an extrude. Select this profile, go down, and cut is already the operation. -4 is here enough because we're cutting through. Then set a little fillet on the top and the bottom, just 0.2 or something, so that just it looks nice. And maybe this is also just 1 millimeter thick and not 2. Looks a little bit thick here, but just a matter of design, and actually I don't see it and don't have it next to me that I can have a look at it. And we need a pattern, circular pattern, and set to features and select the extrude and the fillet. Then select the axis, set axis, and we need 48 of these. Hit OK. And here we go. We have a lot of holes. It looks cool. And when we check up our cup, the last thing we have to do is to make a little cut out here, and for that I go to this face here and say create sketch. Then I do a projection of this line here. Create project. Hit OK. So switch off my bodies. Now you get this little line here. Then I draw again a construction line, press X, and it just goes somewhere here. Yeah, looks good. Just drawing some line, doesn't matter how long. Okay, of course, a little bit, so that it goes further than this area here. I will mirror that. It's already selected, mirror line. Okay, so select this one, mirror line is this one. Good, okay. Then draw a line in between, and now we get a little bit of profile. Finish the sketch. activate my body, and now I be sure that you select the whole profile here, all the parts. I hide my cup actually, and wanna get this one, then go to extrude, and you see it's cutting away this part here. Okay, let's see if some filleting works. I'm not sure because this one, and this edge. No. Yeah, sometimes Fusion isn't happy with the filleting or can't calculate it. Okay, this one worked. So I just take that because I don't think I can fillet the others separately. And I just leave that, happy with that. So, switch on everything. Now we have our cutout. The lemon juice has place to come out. And so we are finished with the model. And let's do a little bit of rendering in fast forward. Good, let's go to the rendering mode and do a quick setup. So that's my result. I hope yours also looks that nice. So I hope you learned a lot again, and see you next time.